Hey ladies, now this is a special video. I just got it. I'm tired. My hair got a little wet, so it's a little wavy at the top. So I have to curl that before I shower and go to bed. But it's like 10 o'clock, and I said, let me just do this quick little video for you guys. A couple of my subbies asked about how I apply my units. Now, I don't wear units. I've tried them. The whole, the cap thing, the dome cap. It makes my head sweat. I don't like it. It makes my head sweat. I don't like the feeling of a wig. I've been wearing wigs for so long, like I said in one of my prior videos, that I just got tired of them. And they started to make my hair thin, and my hair's already thin. So I don't need it to be any thinner than what it is, because I have very thin hair. So what I do sew-ins, or I would do a stocking cap, or I would glue it. As long as you use, what's that, the Diamond Bond, or I can't think of the name of it. It's a bond where you put it on, and it protects your hair from the glue, and it works really well. So yeah, I usually, this is Sasha, okay, and this is what I used to put my wigs on now, and make some units. This is what I do. Sasha's head is about the same size as my head. It's kind of small here, it gets wide here, then it gets small here, and that's how my head is. I usually use stocking caps to do my installs. Now I do sew-ins. You know, a lot of people don't like sew-ins anymore. They like the availability to take the hair off and put it back on, to each his own. I'm just not with the wig thing anymore. It's too much heat. Summertime come. I'm not with that. And I still wash my hair every week and everything with a sew-in, but that's another video. So this is a stocking cap. Let me put it on Sasha. Let me see. Okay. So here. Just pretend this is my head, okay? So now my hair is braided underneath, okay? And I usually do this for my short hair clients as well. Now if they have short hair where they're shaved around the sides, all I would do is mold the hair down, put a little Diamond Bond or whatever you want to call it on there, or I would put, or I would gel it down or whatever. Then I would put the stocking cap on and glue the stocking cap all around, especially if they have a short haircut, just so that it will stay on. After that, once that's on, or if you have hair, you can braid it. You just braid this around the perimeter. I usually use 2 of these. Now, this is the thread that I use. And you can get some at your local fabric store. Maybe Walmart might have it. But it's for coats. It's extra strong. Well, it's called Coats Extra Strong. It's an upholstery thread. It's for upholsteries. It is really, really thin. And it's really heavy duty. It will not break. You would have to cut this out. It's really, really heavy duty. And it says it on there too. Heavy duty. So this is the thread I use for my sew-in. So usually I will do like a regular sew-in. And I will start, the tracks here and go all the way up and around. Mind you, I have 2 of these on. My hair's braided underneath. The stocking cap is braided onto my braid around the perimeter. And then I will commence the sewing. Now if the person's hair is too short, I will glue the stocking cap just around the perimeter. And then I will start sewing. So once I get up to the top of the head, it depends how thin the hair is. Like my hair's thin at the top. Either I would sew it, but sometimes I don't like to sew it because it'll be big hair. So sometimes I do glue-in tracks, like I have a few glue-in tracks here. I would either glue a couple of tracks up at the top of Sasha's head, and that would be it. Or I would sew it down if the person has enough leave out to cover the tracks. But I mean, that is it. There's nothing special. Like I said, You know, I preferably do this on people with shorter hair. And not only that, I do it on with people with long hair too because it holds the hair down pretty well. It's breathable. You can scratch your scalp. Like, I love it because I don't want to use hairnet because I can't get to my scalp at all with a hairnet to even scratch it. It's annoying. You know what I mean? And even if I was to wash it, and if you was to wash your hair and it gets wet, it won't take as long to dry. You know what I mean? It's because it's breathable. It's just a mesh cap. It's not, you know what I mean? If you was to put on the dome cap and sew it on, and you know what I'm saying, you can't wash your hair till you take off that unit because it's too thick to wash your hair underneath. So it's the same as a net, but I think it's better because it's soft. You can actually get to your scalp to scratch it. And if you wanted to wash your hair, you can definitely wash your braids under it the same as a net. But I just prefer the stocking cap. And that's it. I mean, that's it. I don't make units. I do sew-ins. I like sew-ins better, and that's the way I can really test the hair. You know what I mean? People say, you know, I wore the hair for a month. No, you didn't. Unless you're sleeping in it. If you're not sleeping in it every day, or when you get up and you take your scarf off, a piece of hair just came out. That's because I just reinstalled it today. So there's like loose pieces at the top. But unless you're taking it off every day or you manipulating it every day, like when I get up in the morning, I have to take my scarf off. I actually have to do stuff to my hair. Versus when people, you know, get up in the morning, they take their scarf off, all they do is put on a wig. It's already been curled the day before. You're not manipulating it all the time. You know what I mean? You're not touching it all the time. Half of the night, it's fine. You're not bothering with it. And if you don't go anywhere for the day, you don't even have to put your wig on. You know what I mean? So, I mean, with this, you have to do stuff with it. And, I mean, I love my sew-ins. And that's just me. I'm just gonna have to do my sew-ins and my glue-ins. But I mean, you just gotta be very, very careful with the glue, especially if you have thinning hair. You gotta be very careful with the glue. But other than that, that's all I use. I use any regular, you know, wig caps. These are pretty good because they stay on your head without pins. They are tight as all heck. And I use 2 of these. And believe me, when you sew the hair on, it's not going to rip it. It's secure enough. It's secure enough. Let me just say that. When you have 2 of these on, it's secure enough for a sew-in. Especially, you're going to have your braids as the anchor braids underneath anyway. But this also helps if you have thinning hair, just to, you know, fill in the gaps as well if you don't want to use a hairnet. Because to me, a hairnet can be a little taut and it's a little bit more wiry. It's not as gentle to the braids as this as well. This would, you know, not, you know, it won't feel like you're rubbing against your braids or the net is just like damaging your hair, because when you pull on that net as well, it gets tight as you sew. So that's also, you got to think about that factor as well. But yeah, that's my way of doing it. And then I just leave out maybe not even, let me see, is it a pinky size leave out? Because the less leave out that you use, the better your hair is going to blend. If you have a lot of leave out, and sometimes if the hair is thinner in texture, your hair is not going to blend. You know what I mean? It's not going to blend into the hair. So you got to keep that in mind too if you're going to do a leave out, if you're not using a closure. I don't like closures either, because no matter what you do to them, they still look like a closure, still look wiggy. So I don't care if I have this much hair on my head, I will not do a lace closure. I don't care if it get burnt out or not, I will not do it. But yeah, less hair as possible when you're doing your leave out. That's the key. Because if your hair is too thick and then you got this much out and you're trying to blend it into a sleeker hair, it's not going to work out. It's just not. So, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, let me see. Here's a couple of pieces of hair. So I would, let me see if I can get it on Sasha. if I can demonstrate how much leave out. That much leave out, I can't, let me see guys, I can't really do it. But that much leave out is what I do. It's ideal. As long as your hair has a nice thick texture, then it will cover the tracks. If not, what you can do, if your hair is not thick, what you would do is cut a piece of the hair. Just cut a piece. And once you cut the piece, a piece of hair would be like this. What you would do is take your hair glue, dab it on the end that you cut, and apply it on to the weft, just to cover the wefts, so that you do not see the wefts if you have thinning hair. Or even if you don't have thinning hair and you don't want to close it, like you just want to have your hair folded over the sides, but you don't want to, close the back, you could just use some hair to cover over the track to cover it. But I mean, that's it. I mean, that's what I do. When I don't want to make a closure, a round closure to close my hair out, I would piece of hair, I would cut it, snip, and I would take some glue on the end of it, and I would apply it to the track itself. And I'll just cover the track. So I mean, that's it. That's how I do it. That's my favorite way to do it. That's my stocking cap sew-in. That's the only way I do my hair. I don't use hair nets. I don't like them. They're uncomfortable for me. If I want to scratch my scalp, I can't get to it. Even if I decide to wash it, I can actually wash it, like fill my scalp and wash my scalp. Versus a hair net, you're not touching your scalp because there's net there. So yeah, I think that's it, you guys. I just reinstalled the hair today. I just decided to reinstall it. So at the end of the week, I don't have to do it. I don't have to be bothered with it because I got to get my nails done and do this and do that. And I didn't feel like, taking it out and doing all that. So SpongeBob, I was watching. Yeah, but I
recorded it.
I already recorded it. That was a recorded show. Ladies, my son that came downstairs. I was watching.
Why you? All right, I'm changing the channel.
I was watching.
I'm changing the channel.
You don't even know what channel it was on because it was a recorded show.
Well, it's recorded.
Atlanta Housewives reunion.
Oh my God.
The third part, ladies, and
Mom,
that.
Can you change
funny.
You say you was done.
All right,
done.
Okay, ladies. My son's rushing me because he wants me to get off. So I'm going to let y'all be. But yes, have a good night and God bless. Stop! I'm done.